Okay, so you had your shoot today, right?
Yes.
So my first question to you is, why the shoot? Like, why have you done this? Be honest. Like, why are you here? Why am I here?
Okay.
What's happened? What's brought you to this part in your... Well, share as much or as little as you want to, but I want to know, like, why are you doing this shoot?
Okay. So I think our paths crossed on Instagram, and I was in recovery, so I've been in recovery for 3 years now, and I think when I first came across your content and everything you do, I was like a year sober, and I'd recently done a workshop on body confidence, and people wrote all over my body. It was crazy. I was so petrified. I went there in my big pants, like just like not knowing what to expect, but I really wanted to just sort of be okay being seen with my body and not hide it. And I thought, if I want to stay sober and I want to change my life, I need to start accepting my body and me. So I think it was, an opportunity that I couldn't. At first I wasn't sure. I was like, I'm not sure I can. And I was living in a recovery house, and but it was something that I really wanted to do to kind of get into the sensual side of me as well. When you contacted me, like I think a while after, and then I was just like definitely not gonna turn it down.
Amazing. And what was it about a shoot in particular? Instead of maybe, I don't know, posing for a painter, or I don't know, dancing or going to the gym, where you could maybe be seen in your body in various other ways, right? What was it about the shoot that was appealing for you?
I think with a shoot, I automatically get uncomfortable when someone else is holding the camera, because when I'm doing a selfie, I can see what I'm doing, and there's just something about it. As soon as a camera's there, I go into this awkward energy of like not knowing how to move, what to do in my body, and also because it's quite, it's at home and it was like quite sensual. It's not the same as kind of being out. It is quite focused just on me rather than being at a dancing or something. So, yeah.
Cool. Great answer. Okay. Keep going. What was your biggest fear before me arriving here today? What was your biggest fear? Not just today, but generally. Like, what were you most fearful of?
I think my fears are maybe more my insecurities and my imperfections, as seen as society would say. So my acne, I'm covered in scars because I was a self-harmer in my teens when I went through trauma. So it can be quite scary just being seen that way. And then just silly little fears that the brain will play out, that like all my outfits will just like have rips or something, and it just won't look like anything, won't look good, or my makeup, my hair will be terrible on the day, those sorts of little ones that go through my mind.
Cool. Amazing. And can you tell me how you felt during the shoot? Let's start there.
I felt really comfortable, actually. Yeah, really comfortable. I think you made me feel just playful and just to have a laugh with it. And I think because you're so confident in poses, I felt really carried with that. Like I think sometimes if you do a shoot, often the photographer won't like tell you how to pose, and they're just expecting you, and they might say like move your head like that way or this way a little bit, but then you're expected to find your own way. And I think as someone who feels really awkward, it's really like I felt held, being guided. I was really nervous at first when you arrived. I was like, but then as soon as you were sort of really chill, and then I was getting ready and you were like singing along to the song, I just thought, yes, like that's cool. Yeah.
I'm always singing. Okay, cool. Was it how you expected it to be, would you say? As in, like, if you kind of think back to your fears and think back to maybe why you booked it and how you maybe felt like the process would go, did it align, or was it better? Was it worse? Be really honest.
Yeah. I think it was better than I know it was better because I didn't, apart from my fears that were coming up, I didn't use my brain to imagine what it would be like. Because I think just expectations can pay like the path for resentment. So, not that I was going to get resentful. But yeah, so I didn't really have much expectation, but there was a lot more, like I only had like 2 outfits, and then the backup one, I didn't think we'd do as much as we did. I thought we'd do a lot less, so it was quite a nice surprise to have so much like going on in the flat.
A lot of variation, didn't we?
Yeah.
So my next question is, how do you okay, let's ask you this. If someone was on the fence about it, and let's say they had the fears like you had beforehand, right? And they were like, oh, I'm not so sure if she was thinking about doing it, what advice would you give her now you've done it? Okay.
Yeah, just do it anyway, because the fears are going to be there regardless, you know? So you may as well just feel the fear and do it anyway. Because then afterwards, the sense of achievement and that feeling of like, yeah, I did this, I did that. And then, you know, I've seen a little sneak peek of the images, but when later on, I'm going to get that experience, and that's just amazing. And to celebrate my body, like, wow. So yeah, do it.
Amazing. Okay, last question, and I think I know what the answer is, but I just want some kind of like, would you recommend this? What feedback would you give me or give you at yours? Like what would you recommend it, and give me some feedback.
Okay, yeah, of course I'd recommend it, yeah. And then feedback, I don't know, yeah, I have none, which is good.
Yeah?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
This is what I was saying about the Reiki master thing. Like, you me doing Reiki and you're like, oh, you can give me some feedback. And I'm like, I've got nothing to compare it to, right?
Yeah.
So it's a difficult thing, isn't it? Maybe, okay, tell me one thing that worked really, or that really helped. So I know me singing whilst you're getting changed helped, and me posing you. Was there anything else that really made that helped or made you feel better? Like, even leading up to the shoot, was there anything I did or suggested, or you tell me?
I think there's so much, you know, the Pinterest post to, you know, so I can look for a style and start thinking about it. All of the emails and the kind of checking in and was great. It, you know, I didn't feel like I was just, I'm like a human that's being connected with, and this is important, kind of, that's how I felt. Yeah, and then with everything that happened with lockdown, because we had the shoot that was going to happen, and then you still like showing up afterwards, and there is more. Yeah. And then there's even like having the makeup available and the hair available, and then, you know, saying about music as well, and it's just so many different pointers. So yeah, there's a lot there. I can't think of anything to score.
That's plenty. Thank you. And a high five, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool, thanks.